Hey, I'm Brady.
And I'm Christy, and this is the Freedom Living Project.
And today in this video, we're going to be talking about if you are a couple, like we are, and you work together, we want to give you a couple tips here, actually 5 tips on how you can better manage working together. That can sometimes be like kind of a tricky thing, especially when you work together. And for us, that was a struggle for us in the beginning, learning how to navigate that. So after doing this for now, 4 years now, we're going to show you what we've learned along the way. And hopefully it's helpful to you. So the first one we're going to talk about is really acknowledging your strengths and your weaknesses. When we first started in business together, one of the things is we both tried to do everything. And we were both trying to figure out and navigate what we're good at, what we're not good at. And we learned very, very quickly there are things that I'm really good at, and there's things that she's really good at. And most of the time, the things that I'm really bad at, she's really good at, and vice versa. And that's something I think if you can acknowledge that quicker and you can get to figuring out what your strengths and your weaknesses are and affirm those in one another and then place yourselves in the right position, it's going to save you a tremendous amount of headache.
And it's not even just like day to day, like who's good at administration and who's good at, marketing or things like that. It's even things down to like who's the visionary and who's the operations. Because those play different roles in our business too. So he's very much the visionary and I'm very much like day to day. I see the nitty gritty, I see the details. And at first it would overwhelm me so much thinking about, the big picture. And when he'd have a big idea, it was so overwhelming. But when we could actually come together and I didn't feel responsible for figuring out how we're going to steer the ship, but I just had to figure out how to paddle, or like how to implement processes or things like that. It just made it so much more, I had so much more relief over that, and I could actually focus on what I am good at rather than trying to take on what he's trying to do. Yeah. So just complimenting each other and letting each other have freedom to do what they're good at too.
Yeah. It's like you got to remember you're a team. You're a team together, and you can only do so much as yourself, but when you combine with somebody who has different strengths than you do, it just amplifies your business, and it did for us.
And that rolls kind of into the second one, which is communication. You got to talk about when you might be feeling overwhelmed, or talk about
this was not my strong suit.
Talk about what you feel like you're good at, or or even affirm the strengths that you see in the other person, because they might not even see it, but when you can communicate and tell them what's going on or what you see, it just makes your business so much more efficient and so much better. Yeah,
and especially like if you are a visionary and you are somebody who's like trying to see the future of your business, there can be times where for both of you guys, if you're in a business together and you're entrepreneurs, there's times where you get a little bit scared. There's times where you go like, what's going on? Or like, why is this not working? Why is that not working? And it's important not to like bottle that up. Mm-hmm. Whoever the leader is in your business and whoever like kind of the CEO is, it's very easy to try to like keep the strong position, like be the leader and like try to put up a good front. But if you're not communicating with that, that's going to come out somewhere else. And you need to talk about it. That's something I struggled with a ton. I would always try to put on the brave face, but it would end up coming out. She would know there was something wrong, but by not communicating, that doesn't help anybody.
Well, and it's hard too when you're not communicating not only about business stuff, but that could come out later on, within your marriage. And so, especially, if you're married to your business partner, but, it could come out later, and then, you're making dinner, you're having a good time, and all of a sudden something about the business explodes. And so you want to make sure that what we would always do is anything that was going on, our business is actually in a physical office, so we would, if there's anything going on or, something about the day that didn't go quite right, we would stay at the office and talk about it, and figure it out before we left. Or at least we would talk about it on our drive home, and as soon as we got home, it needed to be resolved. You got to just nip it in the bud and get things talked about quickly, especially if it's conflict.
And this leads to number 3, which is don't always take your work home. And this is a caveat that we want to really touch on with something like this, is because as business owners and entrepreneurs, like we love what we do. We love being business owners. Yes, it's stressful and there's hard times with it, but there's a lot of times we get excited about our business and we want to talk about it. Mm-hmm. So at first we had this rule where we said we're never going to take the business home. Work stays at work, personal stays at personal, but there's times where we wanted to talk about it. And there should be freedom to talk about your business at home. But there also is times where you need to not talk about your business at home and you need to just be the two of you at home, and it really will save you a lot, I think.
Yeah, you don't want to just be business partners. You're a couple and you're married, and that's more important than the business partner aspect. So you always want to be in communication of what's going on, where we at, and how is our marriage doing. You might work together. We work together super well, but there were times where I was like, I feel like you're just my business partner. I feel like you're just my coworker, and I need my husband. And so just making sure that you're focusing on each other and spending enough time doing both, because you want to focus on the business, you want that to grow, but your marriage needs to grow too. And the stronger that your marriage is, the better you're going to be doing at the office, at your job, at work.
And then number 4, something like this, is be more intentional with your personal time. Like, yes, we are business partners and we run businesses together, and it's very easy to get stuck in that rut of where, like you were saying, you're just always business partners and you're always just talking about business and you're always talking about work, and everything becomes about work, and you start to like kind of lose touch. You start to lose connection, because work is very different in terms of how we communicate, how we operate, than when we're at home or we're on the weekends and we're trying to enjoy each other. And I think it's very easy to get into that mode and lose connection between each other. And there's times where we felt that too. And I think you need to be honest about when you're starting to feel like you're losing that, starting to feel like you're losing a bit of that connection, to say like, hey, we need to do something different. Like, we need to be more, let's go away for a weekend. Let's go out on a date. And that's why we've done every week. We do a date night, whether that's out somewhere or even that's home. We just do something different that really allows you to like connect with each other. Because if you're in the same routines and you're stuck in work mode, you need to do something different to get you out of that and keep you guys connected personally.
And sometimes you do have to schedule it. So, it might not seem spontaneous or whatnot, but if you're really busy in your business and with a lot of things going on, sometimes you just have to schedule, hey, Saturday's our day. Or, Saturday he has some work to do in the morning, so starting at 10, we're going out, we're doing this adventure, we're doing something. And it's okay to just kind of schedule out that time, but also schedule in your business time. There's tools that you can use to schedule out time blocks, or we just use an iCal, and if we have a day that's like set aside as, hey, we're going to go wine tasting, we'll schedule it 3 weeks in advance. And then we work on our business around that, make sure that our work is done ahead of time so we can really enjoy that whole day together and just get away and focus on each other.
Yeah, that's huge. And then the last one here is set goals and celebrate together. Like, being in a business, there's lots of stress, yes, but there's a lot of fun stuff that happens. And when you hit a goal, it's one of the coolest things, one, just for yourself to do it, but two, it's fun to be able to do it with your partner, with your spouse, with whoever that is in your life that you're working with. It's like an amazing feeling to be able to do that together and feel that accomplishment that you had together, but also then be able to celebrate together. Mm-hmm. And if you don't celebrate that, I'm telling you, you're missing an opportunity for that, because then it becomes, oh, we hit that goal. Oh, well, there's going to be another one, so let's move on to the next one. And you kind of get in this rut of just like nothing ever gets exciting in your business. You're just like, oh, I hit that goal. All right, well, that's what we were planning on doing. Let's go on to the next one. That just sucks. That's no fun. But it's more fun when we can say like, hey, if we hit this goal, we're going to this place for dinner, we're buying this bottle of wine or this whiskey, whatever it is, and we're celebrating. We're celebrating that we hit this milestone, and we'll do that, and that really gets us both excited about the goal. And then once we accomplish it, it's fun just to be able to celebrate together.
And if you're like me and you think, well, we don't have enough money to spend on celebrations, we need to put that into something else. Because that's how I was when we were first starting our business, was, well, we can't go out to this dinner that's going to cost $200 for dinner or something, $150 or whatever.
We should put that towards
whatever
debt.
It is. Yeah, we should put it toward debt. We should save it. That was always in the back of my mind. And so one thing we started doing, and that's a whole nother topic, but we started doing cash envelopes. And so one of those is specifically set aside for celebrations, just for us to celebrate together, to go on dates together, to do something fun together. And so we just set aside some cash every month. We put it away, and then when we have that celebration, we can go and look at it and say, hey, there's $300 in this envelope. So it is more than okay to go out and enjoy and have a nice dinner, or whatever it is that you want to do to celebrate, because that's specifically set aside for that purpose.
Yeah.
So that's what we would recommend. Those are the, I think, key areas that have really worked for us and have helped us to stay sane and stay connected and stay growing our business, and have just been really helpful for us to keep in mind.
Have fun with it too. Like, this life that we get to live as business owners and entrepreneurs, like, yes, it's stressful, but it's as stressful as you make it. And hitting these goals and accomplishing great things together is a ton of fun. these are just meant to help you enjoy this more, enjoy this process more. Not only that, enjoy it, but also to be more successful. So take this advice that we just gave you, put it into action, and come back for the next video. But before you go, make sure you click the subscribe button down. I think it's in this corner. Also, make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and we'll see you guys on the next video.